Some of you have absolutely no idea how excited I am to make this Colorado Buffaloes video, mainly because you don't know how long I've waited for this moment. There's a couple of things that I've been saying that Colorado has to do in order for me to just start taking them seriously or to feel like they're going to move in the right direction. And I feel like all of those things are happening. The first thing I was frustrated with is I said, we need leaders, we need leaders, we need leaders. First thing. They've been able to get some leaders. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like, obviously, because the season still has to go. But the things that I've been whining and complaining about, I am seeing Coach Prime make some of those things happen. First thing being leaders. I've been saying Colorado's needed leaders since Travis and Shedeur left. Everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody said everything's going to be fine. They're going to be easily replaceable. Everything's going to be everything. It absolutely wasn't everything. That was problem number one. The other thing I've said that I wanted is I wanted more college football coaches on the defense. I was yelling about it all year before the season started last year, and I was yelling about it in the offseason, and I was like, until they do certain things, I am not going to take them seriously. Well, they have done that. Warren Sapp is gone. Livingston, like all of the things that I've been saying that I didn't like are now taken care of. And so now I feel like Colorado is focusing on being a college football program. NFL coaches are NFL coaches for a reason. The way that you coach in the NFL is not the way that you coach in college football. The way that you recruit in the NFL is not the way that you recruit in college football. NFL coaches were doing absolutely nothing for Coach Prime, nothing for him. Now he has college coaches. He has college coaches that know how to come in, talk college lingo, work with college athletes, understand the college football game, and I think Colorado is going to be better for it. Do I think they're going to be better for it this year? Well, I don't really know the answer to that question, but I do think that they're moving in the right direction. So you've gotten guys in that know how to be leaders, that have been captains of their team. That is a great thing. And now you have revamped this defense. A defense that gave up, 250 yards last year on the ground a game? Unacceptable. So now Colorado is moving and shaking. This is all I've ever wanted. Do I expect Colorado to win a national championship in 2026? Absolutely not. If you like the content you're getting, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Don't forget to turn on those notification bells and do all the YouTube things. But you have to be able to put certain things in place that you can build on. You can build on a foundation of college football coaches that know how to develop college football athletes. That is super important. You also brought in a new OC. I love to see that. Somebody that will probably coach to Juju Lewis's strengths. We need that because Juju is a young guy and we need things to be as easy for him as possible. That is also not a knock on Juju Lewis that we need things to be easy for him. It's just a fact. I want things easy for all of my quarterbacks, especially when you're young, learning a new offense, and this is still new for you. This is going to be his first time as a starter, and so I feel like what Coach Prime is building makes sense to me, and that is all I've ever asked. All I have ever asked for him to do is to do things that make sense to my football brain. Now I feel like we're doing things that make sense to my football brain. We have an OC college football coach, college football teams, knows how to develop, knows how to work within a college football system. I love it. We have a defensive coordinator, knows how to develop college football talent, knows how to work within a college football program, understands this new wave of college football, understands the college football game. I am a big proponent in if you have somebody in your coaching staff that has never done something specific and then they're the leader of that room, it makes it really difficult to really make sense of what is going on because we're not all starting on the same thing. We're spending so much time trying to make sure that we understand each other, we get what's going on and the lingo and all those things, that we're not focusing on the football. I need us focusing on the football. And I think what we're doing here, we're going to be able to focus on the football. I am excited for that. I am also not here to say that I think Colorado is going to win the Big 12. That's not why I'm making this video. But what I am saying, some of the things that I said in the offseason, I said we have to learn how to tackle. We have to get leaders. We have to get guys in here that know how to play. We need to do something about that defense. We have to do something about that defense. Here we are. We're doing those things. Now, Some of you might be thinking, okay, she sounds excited. This is the most excited I feel like I have been in a while. Really, this is the most excited I've probably been since Shedeur, Travis, Shiloh second year, because I felt like they were going to be able to do some things in that second year, just having that core group together. This time though, I feel like Coach Prime is actually building a team around him that can actually go to the right war with him and for him, because they've been there before. That's important to me. The other things I will still say, I am still concerned about the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. I don't know what that is going to look like. I don't know what it's going to feel like. I don't know if this defense is going to be able to stop anybody. I don't know if this defense is equipped to stop the run. I don't know the defensive scheme. There's a lot of things I still don't know about this defense that makes me a little bit nervous, because for me, the things that I need this defense to do is be more disciplined and be able to tackle. Those are the two things I need this defense to do: tackle and discipline. I feel like you can work on those things, because tackling is a part of football and being disciplined is just a desire to be disciplined, paying attention to the details. Sometimes when you get a new coach in, and obviously the coach is with Colorado, but so he's been in the meeting rooms, but now he's in charge and now he knows the guys. So he knows what makes them tick. He should know what makes them go because he has been around them. So now they have a choice to make. If the coach holds a standard and the standard is excellence, I expect the players to match where the coach is at. And it's going to be up to those players to do that. That is why bringing in a new coach is so cool to me. I'm excited to see this new Colorado. I'm excited to see what they look like on defense. Now, I'm going to flip it. Now, this offense. Now, I know a lot of people will say, listen, we don't have to have a great offensive line in order to run this offense. We don't have to do certain things in order to run this offense. Let me just explain a little bit about some of the things that I don't believe to be true. In football, you always need an offensive line. It is a fallacy to act like we do not need a good offensive line. We need a good offensive line. Now, do they have to be excellent? That is something I'm willing to debate. But the offensive line has to be good. Why? Because if things break down, or in order for you to set up the type of offense you want to set up, you need to have guys that can give you a little bit of time. Do they need to be all Americans? No, but you do need to have a solid offensive line. That is going to be very important to me, to see a solid offensive line. So the next things I'm going to be looking for, I don't care how they work out. I don't care what they look like in shorts. I don't care what they look like in the off season. I don't care what they look like lifting weights. I don't care what they look like when they're running. I don't care what they look like when they're in meeting rooms. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is this spring game. I want to see what the spring game looks like, because I have seen the past, 3 spring games, and there's some things that I've picked up in each spring game, come to find out I was 100% correct about, because I saw it in the spring game. So I know a lot of people want to act like the spring game doesn't matter and it's just a glorified whatever. That spring game matters. The spring game tells you a lot you need to know about your team before it starts. And let me just talk about the elephant in the room. Last year, the biggest elephant in the room for me after the spring game was actually the quarterback play in Jordan Seaton. Saw something in Jordan Seaton I didn't really like. Jordan Seaton is no longer here. If this team is able to rally together, they might be able to be a better unit, because everybody is fighting for something. There's not an anchor on this offensive line right now. They still have to block. They still have to look good out there. They cannot be awful. That can't happen. They cannot be average either. They have to be able to give the quarterback some time. So the things I'm now paying attention to, now I need to see this offensive line go against this defensive line in the spring game. That is all I care about, is the spring game. I also want to just see what this defense looks like and what the linebackers look like. And I'll be honest, one of the biggest things for me is I need to see if they're going to rally around the football. I need to see what this defensive attitude is going to look like in the spring game, and I need to see what the team is going to look like in the spring game. I know a lot of people will say the spring game doesn't matter. The spring game matters. Stop convincing yourself it doesn't matter. If it didn't matter, they simply would not play it. They just wouldn't do it. It matters. All of this matters, because that's the last time you're going to be able to see your team get together until they get together in the summer. So the spring game matters, but I just wanted to come on record and say I'm excited to see what is happening with Coach Prime. I'm excited to see these coaches. I'm excited to see a new OC. I'm excited to see a new DC. I'm excited to see college football coaches in this locker room. That makes me excited. That fires me up. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, I'll see you in my next video.